Good evening and welcome to our special report. Tonight, we re-diving deep into Canada's fiscal landscape as we unpack the key highlights and potential impacts of the 2025 federal budget. This year's budget, titled Fairness for Every Generation, lays out a bold vision for the country's economic future, focusing on affordability, housing, and strategic investments. The headline figures are always the first place to look. For the 2023 to 2024 fiscal year, the deficit is projected at $40 billion. Looking ahead, the government forecasts a deficit of just under $40 billion for the upcoming 2024 to 2025 fiscal year. The debt-to-GDP ratio, a critical measure of a country's financial health. So, how does the government plan to manage these numbers while also spending on new programs? For corporations and trusts, this new two-thirds inclusion rate will apply to all capital gains with no threshold. The government projects this will generate over $19 billion in new revenue over the next 5 years, primarily from a very small percentage of high-income earners and corporations. The housing crisis has been a top concern for Canadians across the country, and this budget responds with a massive investment package. To get there, the government is rolling out a suite of initiatives. This includes a new 10-year, multi-billion-dollar infrastructure fund to help municipalities build the roads, water lines, and transit needed to support new housing developments. For renters, the budget proposes a new Renters' Bill of Rights, which would require landlords to disclose a clear history of a unit's rent. And it aims to create a national standard for leases. Beyond housing, affordability remains a key theme. The budget promises a new national school food program, investing $1 billion over 5 years to provide meals to hundreds of thousands of children. This initiative aims to reduce grocery bills for families and ensure kids have the nutrition they need to learn and thrive. There's also a commitment to cracking down on so-called junk fees, those surprise charges for things like concert tickets, airline fees, There's a new multi-billion-dollar investment tax credit for the electric vehicle supply chain, designed to attract manufacturing and secure Canada's position in this rapidly growing industry. This complements existing credits for clean technology and clean hydrogen. This funding will go towards increasing computing capacity, supporting AI startups, and ensuring the safe and responsible development of artificial intelligence. The goal is to cement Canada's status as a global leader in AI research and commercialization, creating high-paying jobs and driving innovation across the economy. Of course, a budget of this scale is not without its critics and controversies. The business community has raised concerns about the capital gains tax changes. Groups like the Canadian Chamber of Commerce argue that this could discourage investment, hurt entrepreneurship, and make it harder for businesses to grow and create jobs. They worry that it might drive capital and talent out of the country at a time when we need to be more competitive. On the other hand, proponents argue that the changes simply bring Canada's tax system more in line with other G7 nations and that it is a necessary step to fund critical social programs without increasing taxes on the middle class. The debate really centers on a fundamental question: what is the best way to foster a strong economy while ensuring social fairness? Is it through lower taxes to spur private investment, or through government spending on public goods and services? This budget clearly leans towards the latter. Another point of contention is the spending and deficit projections themselves. While the government projects a declining debt-to-GDP ratio, some economists are skeptical. They point out that these projections rely on strong economic growth, which isn't guaranteed in the current global climate of uncertainty and higher interest rates. If growth falters or if interest rates remain high, the cost of servicing the national debt could balloon, putting pressure on future budgets and limiting the government's ability to respond to new challenges. It bets heavily on strategic government investments to build the economy of the future, particularly in green technology and artificial intelligence. The impacts of the decisions made in this budget will be felt for years to come, shaping the financial reality for millions. We'll continue to follow this story as it develops, providing you with the analysis and information you need to understand what it means for your finances and your future. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming reports. Thanks for watching.